Hello everyone. Just give me a second. I see a couple of more people joining. So let's give them a few minutes more.
Hi, Dhaval. Hi, Meena. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I just want a couple of people to join in so we can get started.
Thank you for joining.
Excited? Oh, I can see other people right now. Okay, so we'll be starting in just a minute. Good morning, Lisa. Thank you for joining. Okay, I think we should be starting right about now. So hello to you all and thank you for joining today's cyber education webinar. Um, you're going to get great insights into credential abuse today and threat abuse to your business and actionable advice on how to handle it. So I just want to give a brief introduction on our founders and our speakers for today. We have with us today Nihal Mehta. She has over 10 years experience of product design and she's part of many women and tech communities as a member and a board member. We also have with us today Deval Shah. He's our CTO, CISO. He's also a member of the FBI InfraGard New Jersey Cloud Security Alliance IAM working groups, and he has over 20 years experience in designing enterprise applications. So I just want to give you guys a brief overview of Rainbow Secure. But before I do that, I can see people sending messages into the chat. I want to encourage you to do more. Send your questions in, send any insights you have, and it will be read. So just to give you a brief overview of Rainbow Secure. So Rainbow Secure offers cutting-edge cybersecurity solutions designed to enhance digital protection through innovative color and style integrated multi-factor authentication and single sign-on technologies. You can also secure your email, SaaS services, cloud, and website logins with ease. So I hope I was able to just give you a little guess of what we do. Um, so going on from now, we will start with a few questions for Mr. Shah, and we will dive into today's topic, and then we will open the floor to the audience for questions. I hope that's okay with everyone. So just feel free to send in your questions and any suggestions, any insights you have. Okay, let's
Thank you, Min.
get. Thank you so much, Mr. Shah, for joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I hope everyone attending here is having a wonderful Friday. And I would like to welcome everyone for showing the interest to learn new stuff happening in cybersecurity area, especially how the business is getting more and more impacted through newer and newer cyber threats. So I hope everyone will get here an opportunity to learn, ask questions, and get the queries answered.
That's perfect. Okay, so let's just get the ball running. To begin, I'd like to ask you the first question, which is, can you give our audience high-level understanding on credential abuse threats?
Sure. So everyone is not having a clear understanding of what is credential abuse or what is credential itself. So let me start from the basics. A credential is something you present to someone to gain access to a resource or a data or a function. So In digital terms, in a digital world, a user who is requesting an access to given application or given data element or given digital service, that information that they present to the system is called login credentials. And login credentials itself, you can say, on surface is a very innocent and basic thing, a piece of data that is personal to a user, right? So when some data which is personal to a user, if that gets started misused or abused, then that there comes the challenges for a business to secure themselves or continue working. So there are various modes of credential abuse, and even before we go to the you know actual meaning of credential abuse, I would like to say that how the hackers are going through different steps in order to first get your credentials. So credential abuse comes when uh, credentials which belongs to say a given user is misappropriated or misused by someone to whom it does not belong, right? So that's something where, say, if you say that, have your car keys, stolen, or your key to a given, place get stolen, and someone get found it and try to, get an entry unauthorized or other ways which is not appropriate. So that's the how you can say that you abused the credentials, you abused the key you had to a resource that does not belong to you. Now, first of all, the hackers, what they do, they harvest the credentials that user is providing to the systems, and that process may take many different forms. For example, you credentials that you have maybe get stored in a browser, or you are writing it somewhere, or say you are using unsecure Wi-Fi, and when you work through those systems, where whether your system is already compromised by some malware, so there are different ways that your credentials may get harvested or stolen by hackers. One of the prime example would be, say, phishing attacks. When you click on some link thinking that this is an official email from your boss or from some organization that you are working with, and when you provide your credentials, you may be inadvertently providing your login details to someone that is actually being having a malign intention to gain access to your account. So this is where you can say that party A to whom the credentials belong, party B who is trying to steal your credentials or stole your credentials, and then party C. It party C might be a same party B who is trying to gain access to your account, or party B may be selling your credentials to the dark web, and from where in numerous party C's, kind of entities maybe buying the stolen credentials from dark web and applying against your personal or corporate accounts or your job accounts that where you work with. So this is the abuse of credentials.
Oh, that I would say that's very insightful. And I would also want to encourage the audience, if you have any experience with credential threats, feel free to put your insights in the chat box. Feel free to put any questions you have, and it will be clarified at the end of the meeting. I would want to also ask that based on your vast industry experience, can you tell us the impacts of credential abuse on businesses?
Sure. So the credential abuse has a long-term and both immediate impact on a business. First of all, when hackers take over someone account or gain access, they will not let them, be, like we can say that they are in the system, but they will not be hiding themselves. They will not make themselves visible immediately because they are here to either steal your business secrets, or they're here to steal your data, or misuse the privileges that your users had to further gain, more, say, horizontal and lateral access to your systems. So business may, face legal penalties when they have data loss or data breach. Also, when hackers shut down the systems, business may have a revenue loss that can be short term and long term. If a business is not able to serve the customers on time, there will be a damage to their brand reputation. Customers will lose their trust, partners will lose their trust, and on top of it, the investors and stakeholders, they will also be not happy because when company is not functioning, then the time the investors and other entities who relies on the business for their financial and business goals, right, they get impacted. So we can say that the impact of credential abuse on a business is multifold. Because imagine someone can take over your, Tesla car remotely. What they can do? They can do a lot of things, right? And someone can say have access to your chat GPT, or for that matter, as simple as say someone got access to your business email. Then they will have access to all the conversations you're having with your customers, your partners, your team members. When they have access to your email, they can also send out an email on your behalf. So there will be a lot of immediate and long-term impact of credential abuse on a business.
I would like to say something that I personally think this is actually really scary, that
Mhm.
in such a short period of time or with just a simple mistake, you can lose all your credibility as a business owner. I find that very scary and very threatening. Um, can you give some advice on identifying and preventing credential abuse?
Yes, sure. Before that, I would like to delve into some examples of credential abuse that most of the folks here would have came across in the news, and from there, I will go towards how we can work on it to get some relief. So
Thank you.
the
That would be
most
great.
real world example everyone is aware these days is that few years back there were attack on a very big cyber tech company, SolarWinds, where the credentials were stolen by hackers by both gaining access to their security systems, and also after they came into the network, they harvested the credentials which were lying all along in a different files they got access to. Other access issues and authentication related breaches that happened very, very recently is Snowflake. A Snowflake company got recently having a lot of news bites because lot of many of their customers got attacked via the credential abuse attacks because many of the customers had same problem. They have credentials which were not secure enough, or they were not further protected through secondary and third layer of security, and that led to hackers gaining access to the BI system, gaining access to the vital corporate data that was not released or that was not shared. So hundreds and thousands of end users and customers that relied on Snowflake system that got compromised because of the credential abuse attack. Even Microsoft themselves got compromised. Many of the C-suite and many of the developer uh, account got compromised. They lost the copy of the source code they had. They lost their projects, the information they were working on a couple of government projects. So here it's not just the regular business, but even the big tech companies are vulnerable to credential stuffing attacks and credential abuse attacks, I would say. Now, coming back to your question about, what can be done in terms of the protection from the credential abuse attacks. So there are a lot of different security steps can be taken to first start building the defense against the credential abuse. Second, to monitor and identify the credential abuse going on. And from there, once you identify all the different ways, the business can be vulnerable, whether your employees are working remotely, whether your employees or staff is sharing their credentials with others. So you have to observe the both the behavior and the capability of your existing applications. What is there that can make business vulnerable?
And would you say employee training and awareness programs is a good technique for identifying and preventing credential abuse?
I would say that's the part of the multiple steps that you would need to secure the business from credential abuse. So yes, the protection that you can get against the credential abuse, it starts from the employee awareness and training. Plus, you have to also implement steps that would empower the users and not frustrate them when they are trying to just do that job by logging into the system, right? Because for employees, securing your data or securing your system is not part of the formal job definition. Yes, everyone signs a contract when they join, but most of the time they are so busy with the task on hand that they inadvertently do the missteps like click on the phishing links or giving away their passwords or OTP token. So there are various threats, including social engineering threats as well, that would be faced by a business, and the harvested credentials can be abused, and it can be used against the business. So there are modern solutions like Rainbow Secure that provides multi-tier, multi-layer security with multi-factor authentication to help users gain meaningful productivity and business get stronger security. So techniques like interactive authentication that Rainbow Secure has brought to the market, interactive authentication does a couple of things in one go. It simplifies your credentials, it secures them, and also it makes them harder for the hackers to even abuse. Because Rainbow Secure has invented a graphical authentication method where rather than having a complexity of all those password rules that mostly users are not able to always follow or maintain, at the most it frustrates them even if they follow because they're not allowed to have repeat of last five credentials or five passwords. So users on one side get frustrated by what they're asked to do. On the other side, hacker still have easy way to go because once they harvest your credentials, they can put in script and they can use AI bots to further train it against your systems. So new technologies like Rainbow Secure authentication would be here helpful to business to protect themselves from credential abuse. And that's where the journey of securing the business starts. Help the users, secure the systems, train the employees, and monitoring. So the four pillars of stronger business security are there.
Okay. Now, before we turn to another important area, I can see people sending in their questions in the group chat, and I just want to let them know that their questions are going to be answered at the end of the webinar. But I just want to ask one more question. So if someone wants to create credential risk mitigation strategy, can you give some actionable advice for handling credential abuse?
Yes, yeah. So credential abuse is going to be, say, a long-term menace for the businesses, but the handling of the credential abuse for a business, it will start from consolidating, different identities and different accounts that user has, right? Imagine average staff or employee having to remember and maintain passwords and credentials to 15 plus accounts. It's not productive for them and not productive and easy enough for the IT support staff and security staff to manage, monitor, and do the compliance policy on them. So First step towards having a meaningful credential security is towards establishing the right framework, establishing the right baseline, and put the process in place that helps, you know, both employees and the IT staff to have the common security that adheres to the NIST framework. NIST framework is something that is applicable for commercial and government organization. Right there, it says that the user should be able to authenticate through one or more factors that both uniquely identifies them and maintains the integrity of the system. So credential abuse can be stopped by both fortifying your first layer of defense, that's your passwords, using technology like Rainbow Password, and further augmenting that authentication flow and the security with other solutions that are necessary for the business, including implementing the multi-tier authentication from Rainbow Secure, like Rainbow Secure MFA, Rainbow Secure Passwordless Login, implementing the zero trust framework with Rainbow Secure, and in some use cases, you can also fortify your biometrics with Rainbow Secure technology. So you can say that, the path towards the secure business starts from your primary gateway security and taking towards the step where now that you got a stronger gateway, why not consolidate and fine tune and optimize the access that user has. So all sorts of different applications business is using, like the cloud data store, the CRM, the emails, communication tools, business applications. So rather than having a 10 different applications segregated and user have to remember 10 different login credentials and IT has to support them, the unified credentials via single sign-on, that's an right way to both minimize the possibilities of credential cyber hygiene lapses, and at the same time, the one strong credentials, secure credentials, would be a way to secure the business.
Okay, I see the questions rolling in. um, so what are the first steps that you think a business should take when it comes to detecting credential abuse? And do you think most businesses are doing that now?
So you can say that initial steps that business should take to detect. So I would say that always you should deploy the prevention and monitoring measures so that you can better detect and investigate if something happens, right? So there are two scenarios. One, where you are having the proper monitoring mechanism in place before the attack. And second, if you are under attack and if you did not had all the ideal monitoring measures in place, then what you do? So you can say that, you know, always and the first and foremost that you should do is document the current state of your user identities in your identity store, take the backups of the environment, the audit logs, through thorough investigation on who got admin or super user access, who has been having the login anomalies, like say, someone logging in normally from New York. Now suddenly you see the login request both approved and denied pop up from all sorts of places like Florida, California, and outside of the United States, for example. So you have to both document the current state, the logs, and also involve the security experts from Rainbow Secure and its partners to help you do the proper forensic investigation of the hack. So I would say that business should always preserve the current state, make it possible for the proper investigation rather than they start doing the restores or start doing any other activities that may erase what has been going on or even help the hackers hide their steps or hide the activity. So it's always good to identify the problematic accounts that might have got into the action during the breach. Also, resetting the credentials and enforcing the security measures that are normally not active for some accounts, then it has to be enforced. So resetting the passwords, forcing everyone to uh, log out and log in again, resetting all the sessions, and also notifying the users and relevant authorities as required by law. So these are the couple of things to be done.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to say that Rainbow Secure is doing a fantastic job in helping businesses secure their data, especially at the rise of credential abuse. So thank you so much for that great piece of advice. Can you tell us more about security collaborations and collaborating with third-party security experts and solutions?
Right. So I would say that in cybersecurity, collaboration is the key between different providers and different aspects of cybersecurity industry. Someone may be providing more expertise on the forensic side, investigation. Some partners that we have, they are expert on endpoint security, data security, archival, email security, backing up your SharePoint. So there are different partners that come together to provide a holistic solution to secure the business. And while security collaboration is the key, but also important is to have the right state of network and the security be available to all the participants on the team, because outdated information is many times hampering the recovery efforts and also sometimes making the situation complex when we try to solve the situation. So other questions I see here in the chat that someone asked that, you know, how do firewalls protect the network security? So the firewall is a software that takes care of the, you can say that, when you are on a physical space, or you can say that firewall is something that is controlling the request and the traffic coming in through different ports and different topologies. So firewall is good at securing you from the transport layer. But the identity security and data security is something you have to have consideration for when there is an attack on the user's identity, or there's an attack on the mechanism how the data is stored and secured. So data masking, data encryption, there are different methods how you secure the data. So you always need more than one step to secure the application and a business.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Shah. I can see we have a couple of questions from our audience, and I would want us to answer a couple of them. So let's start with Alisa George. And the question is, what are the concerns of cybersecurity in higher education?
Yeah, so higher education is one of the critical factor under threat because of the online remote learning activities that are permitted today. So what hackers do when we try to facilitate the end users to take advantage of technology, they also try to use the same opportunities to gain access to the data and gain access to the financial information that will be stored within the applications and data stores of higher education sector. So on the one side, there's always a security staff should be taken to secure the higher education systems, learning tools, examination systems. There will be systems for the enrollment, for the grants and scholarships. So cybersecurity always plays a big role because there are different type of hackers with different motives. They try to penetrate and gain from the system. So is always an identity security is a key part of the cybersecurity for higher education. But at the same time, securing the data at rest and securing data in transit, that is also key. Because higher education systems always interact not only by within the framework, within the network, they have, but they interact with the systems and applications and entities outside of their institute. So they may be interacting with the banks, they may be interacting for grants and scholarships with other organizations, they'll be interacting with alumni, students will be interacting for both learning, and staff will be interacting for both, imparting the education by enrolling the students, the courses, the examinations. So there's a lot of things going on in the education sector. It's like in commercial organization when you talk about colleges and universities. So cybersecurity is key here. Now, one of the, you can say that major concern in cybersecurity for higher education sector is how to secure properly the student logins, because there's always a volatile user base when it comes to the student side in education institutions. So there are limited options available to secure the student logins and also to minimize the data leaks and data exposure, because there's always a tons of data moving around. There's always chances that students would be logging in from secure and unsecured Wi-Fi. They would have limited options in terms of how they can authenticate themselves. You cannot issue a work phone to every student. You cannot issue a hardware token or device to every student. So there are options that you have to consider when you try to protect the higher education systems and the data. So Rainbow Secure again work with higher education entities and help them comply with standards, including the FAIR regulations and other local privacy regulations for data.
I think that's really important and insightful because even with school, we receive all kinds of phishing emails, and it creates a series of distracts among the students because you don't know where the email is coming from. These hackers take the domain name of employees and staff of the school, and it's quite stressful. So let's move on to the next question. Milana is asking, what can I do to protect myself online from a cyber threat?
Sure. So for Milana, I would say that everyone trying to protect at themselves at a personal level, they should always make sure that the credentials, the passwords you are using on different websites, try to keep it unique. Plus, make sure that you always have your credentials changed regularly. Plus, sign up for MFA verification where possible. So you can say that on one side, you can do whatever you can do to secure your account, but on the other side, you have to also have, like, say, presence of mind when someone is asking you to say click some link in the email, or someone is calling you and making it more urgent to give them some information. So cyber threat can come not only when you're working on a computer, but it can come via social engineering attack, or it can come when you are trying to do shopping online, when you are checking email, when you are trying to fill out for any referral or service. So always make sure that you are protecting yourself, whether it's online or offline. There's some other advice normally I give to the people to protect themselves at personal level is that you might be getting a lot of text messages from UPS and USPS, but most of the time, those are phishing links. So make sure if you're really, getting something, then you need to respond. Better you go to your account, such as your Amazon account or any other source where you ordered from, rather than clicking on those links in the text messages. Plus, when you throw away your packages, I would advise to also scrub out your addresses and barcode from this package material. That's how also there are chances that your information can get harvested by hackers.
Well, um, we have a question here. I think you answered the firewall question. So we have a question from Lisa, and Lisa wants to know, what are the common techniques for securing a computer network?
Sure. So number one is the endpoint security, firewall security, identity security, and also make sure that your system has a sufficient encryption mechanism in place. So when you are protecting your network, it's not always possible that nobody will get through. So we have to secure both, prevent the bad entities and requests and traffic from coming in. But what if they come in? So that's why you have to always have your sensitive data in an encrypted manner. For that, you can use tools available off the shelf. And if you are a business professional or a startup founder, you can use many tools and techniques available within the Office 365 platform, including encrypting your files, encrypting your emails when you send out. So there are a lot of things we can do to secure not only from the computer network perspective, but from the applications that you are using, and to mitigate any chances of anyone trying to do a ransomware attack on you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. We also have another question here. What steps would one take if discovered a security breach?
Yes, so I would repeat a couple of steps I gave earlier. Number one is document and take a backup of the current state of the systems. Never allow your logs to be erased or scrub out just because you wanted to save some space. First, document and take sufficient backups. Inform the authorities and cyber command center in your state. Involve the cyber investigation experts. Rainbow Secure has many partners in this area. They can help you. So Rainbow Secure will work with them when you have some situation like that. But I would advise that even before you are getting breach, you should work with experts. We can provide help and assistance where you can have a solid security strategy that can give you a confidence. So there is a saying that be cyber safe and not cyber scared, right? Be cyber ready rather than be cyber apprehensive and you know shying away from doing online business or online learning or online shopping. So it's always a steps that you can do to, you can say, that prevent from getting exposed to data breach.
I would say be cyber ready is my new mantra. I'll keep saying it over and over again. So let's move on to the next question. Um, we have on here. What are the common techniques for securing security breach?
Okay, so far you can say that to recover from the security breach, you say, can you repeat your question?
What are the common techniques
Can you
for
repeat your question?
securing? What are the common techniques for securing security breach?
So we can say that a business, whenever they are under the security breach or when they are working in an industry that's always susceptible to the breach and attack, they should work with cyber experts and prepare a comprehensive security plan. Security plan includes identifying the assets, identifying the system and data that may be exposed in case of cyber disaster or cyber incident. So, knowing what to protect, making a plan for securing it, and making a enrollment of relevant stakeholders and users who will be participating in incidents like that, or who will be helping you to secure your system. That's a key, because not always IT support and IT security staff can do everything. They will always need a collaboration and help from the user base to help them identify what to protect, and in participation and collaboration with the business as a team, you can help secure the business.
Insightful. So Alisa is asking, what are the common cyber threats today?
So cyber threats today ranging from, you can say that again, people try to steal your passwords or trick into giving you an OTP. They also help you, like they also try to play a trick with you and do a financial fraud. So many time innocent emails are been sent to a business users. I call it business email compromise. They try to interject themselves into your email conversation, and they may ask you to change their finance account details. They may ask you to change the next invoice payment to different account. You may many times, we get emails from hackers claiming that they are our employees, and you would ask to change the payroll account. So there are various ways, business get threatened. It's not always an phishing email, but it's also an innocent email with no links. It just they will simply interject by spoofing your email domain or by spoofing the name of the executives or employees. So there are always a different type of threats lurking on the horizon, but with right knowledge and right practices, you can secure yourself.
Okay, thank you so much for that. We have one question from Sharon, and she
Mhm.
wants to know what the difference between symmetric and asymmetric encryption is.
So this is a way that the encryption technologies had been created and they work, but we can tell them about, like we can give more guidance about the technicalities, how those encryption works. Maybe on a separate one-on-one call, we can educate them. Right now, we would like to more focus on the topic of credential abuse. So any technical questions you may have, we would welcome to set up a call with you and go through that. That's always an advantage of different types of encryption technologies in use, but sometimes with a right application of given algorithm, you can secure yourself.
Okay. Alisa also wants to know what digital signature is.
Yeah, so digital is little off topic, but I can quickly answer that. So digital signature is something that is working on a encryption technology and public key, private key, So when you are signing a given document or given string, we are encrypting, right? So here is always when you identify yourself, your systems can identify other party. So I can say that from non-technical side so that everyone understands here. Your signature, when you apply on a given string or stream of data, then you are making it foolproof that other party, when it's try to check the validity of your encrypted data, only with your given private and public key, the string can be reversed and you can check the validity. I would say that's at high level.
Okay. Sharon is asking one more question. She wants to ask, how does a rootkit work and how would you detect it?
Well, this little off topic, but we can take it upon in a separate conversation. Thank you, Sharon.
Okay. I have a personal question of my own. I
Mhm.
believe we spoke about third-party security solutions. I want to ask, how should businesses go about selecting the right third-party security solution?
So when you are trying to buy or procure security solutions and services, you have to always have a checklist of what you are looking for, whether it will fit your business and tech needs, whether it will fit your tech environment, whether those solutions are enough to help you comply with the industry regulation that your industry is belonging to. So always check, what are your needs and if the features and solutions that you are trying to look for aligns with your need.
Okay, thank you so much. We have, I just want to throw it out there. If anyone has any more questions, feel free to put it in the chat box I have one more question. So, what role does regulatory compliance play in preventing credential abuse?
I would say that different compliance regulations and guidelines, including NIST, NYTFS, SEC, everyone is having one goal to help business withstand their cyber risk they are facing and continue function and to minimize and prevent the data leaks and data breaches. So with that said, compliance regulations are like in guidelines. You're, something that when you work against the given section guideline or subsection clause in a compliance regulations, automatically you are going to follow the best practices that are recommended. And because when compliance regulations say that, hey, you have to secure your data, you have to secure your systems, you have to make sure that when you are authorizing someone an access, you verify them. When you do one thing, don't let other door open. So it's all about securing the business, whether it's in human interaction, whether an API interaction, or I would say that even if you are exchanging data with trusted entities, to protect your data in transit, you have to have encryption. So these are all small, small things you will find in the compliance regulations, including PCI DSS, in HIPAA regulation, and FTC regulations, 21 CFR. So these are the different regulations, including CMMI, FISMA, CMMC. So Rainbow Secure and their partners always work with the business to help them understand what's the meaning of different compliance regulations, how their business is getting impacted, what their business can gain from them, and how they secure them.
Okay. Okay. Thank you all for your responses in the chat. I just want to ask one more thing. I know Rainbow Secure works with the Color and Style MFA. I want you to help me or put this out there. Can you discuss the importance of the multi-factor authentication in combating credential abuse?
Sure. Um, it's a very good point to highlight and explain to our audience here today. So, multi-factor authentication is a key element to stop the credential abuse going on today. And Rainbow Secure, with its patented interactive graphical authentication, is empowering users to achieve that security. So, you can say that how it works in a layman terms. So when you log in to your email account or for any cloud services, for example, any of those accounts secured by Rainbow Secure technology would allow users to format or style their credentials. So instead of having to work with complex 18 character passwords and all those boring captcha mechanism, I'm not a robot, users in a meaningful way, they interact with the system using their memorable word, and they play with the system by applying colors or style combination that they have chosen to secure their account. What this does is that even if hacker has stolen the textual part of your login password, they cannot replay and abuse the account security because your credentials is now multi-tier, multi-layer. So you can apply either font style like underline. You can have a something as simple credential as a 2020 with font color blue, or you can have any favorite word, for example, just applying a given color or style on your password credential or a PIN code or passcode, including password as OTP. You are making sure that you are defeating man in the middle type of hacks. You are defeating the harvested credentials that hackers has grabbed, because past breaches like Snowflake, Cisco, Uber, and even Microsoft, hacker could easily went into the front door only because the credentials that are being used today, they are easily harvestable no matter how complex they are. So you need the security like Rainbow Secure, multi-factor, multi-tier security that gives you the additional layers of security. So it's just not about coloring and styling your account credentials, but it's about defeating the credential abuse attempts. So when your password is saved in Password Manager or Chrome browser, still you don't have to worry about getting hacked because you still would be knowing what color or style formatting to apply on your credential. Or if you are having our adaptive authentication security, then we can get you prompted for Rainbow Secure OTP. So that's how your authentication is still multi-tier. At the same time, it's harder for the hackers to abuse and penetrate. So hacker could not get hand into what interaction you are doing with the system. So what you know, what you do, this behavioral biometrics that we are deploying is making sure that automated bots are failing here. We are making sure that only genuine users interacting with the system that goes through. So there are intelligent mechanisms behind the scene, apart from formatting that we ask the user to do through their memory or through the prompt they're getting through our app or through the SMS notification we send them. So the key idea here is that secure the account, but in a way that user can easily work with and not hackers can easily work with. So that's what we provide here.
I think it's really insightful to know more about what Rainbow Secure does, and it's very innovative. Thank you so much for sharing that with us today. So before we end this, I just want to know, Mr. Shah, if you have anything else you'd like to share with us, any final thoughts or recommendations you have.
Sure. So I would like to tell my audience that one more time that be cyber prepared and not cyber scared, because with the right user education, right techniques, and right approach, you can always keep whether it's your personal data or your company data secure. And Remote Secure can help you in every step, whether you are using your Windows devices, Chromebook, whether you're using Office 365, any cloud services you are having, payment accounts, social media accounts. We can help you be your we can help you secure them. We will be your security partner in every step of your digital journey, so that you're not scared of using digital tools. Even generative AI is there. People are using ChatGPT. People are using other AI tools, but many times they are afraid to both share their data or use them, thinking that if that system can compromise, then whatever the queries they are posting there, whatever the material they have, that can get stolen. So with right approach, with right mechanism, we can be your security partner, and always, without getting afraid, make a proper plan to get advantage of digital innovations today.
Thank you so much. Um, so I just want to inform you guys that you can feel free to reach out to either me or the Val with the code CyberSafe 2024, and we'll be right here for you. So I just want to say thank you so much to Mr. Shah for such insightful information today. We really appreciate your time. And I also want to say a big thank you to the audience as well for the engaging questions. The just
Sure.
a minute, I think our founder just put something in the chat for us. Yes, so you can connect to Daval at daval@rainbowsecure.com. I am
And
also on
so just
LinkedIn.
I want to add one thing here for
Mhm.
all the attendees here today. If they want to refer Rainbow Secure for any of the businesses for securing them, we can give them a 3-month free trial and 10% discount on their subscription for securing their emails, their websites, and SaaS services. So this is something would be worthwhile for our audience to share with their friends and with their companies, and make them aware to have a proper security cyber hygiene.
Thank you
Anyone
so,
can
so
connect
much.
with me LinkedIn. You guys can feel free to email me for further questions you may have, and we are here to help you.
Thank you so much. Do you guys have anything else to say? Is there any other comment, any other question before we wrap this up? I just want to give it a minute. So we have the LinkedIn profiles in the chat box. Feel free and connect with us. Reach out at any time. If you have any questions, any suggestions, just reach out and we'll cover everything for you. I want to say thank you so much once again to Mr. Deval Shah for joining us
Thank you.
today. It's always a pleasure. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much for the audience, for everyone that joined us. James also saying thank you so much.
Yeah,
I
thank
can
you.
tell how much everyone enjoyed the session today.
Yeah, same
Wow.
here. I enjoyed the wonderful conversation from entire audience. The participation was lovely, and I hope that this will help them. And we are always here. Our doors are always open to help them in any ways they want.
Okay. Thank you all so much.
Thank
It
you.
has been a pleasure having you and have a lovely day.
Yeah, take care. Have a lovely day and wonderful weekend, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye. Okay.